Welcome to the Worst of the Riot podcast. Coming up, I finally found a scientific reason to stop picking my nose.
Also, we share some shockingly good stories and more on the Worst of the Riot podcast. Back in 2015, one country made it illegal for parents to name their newborn children after that popular hazelnut spread because a newborn baby girl was named Nutella, which is a cute name.
It is cute. Why outlaw it? That's what got me thinking. I was trying to think. Going through all the countries. I knew it wasn't India. They let you name a baby anything there. Frankenstein, Hitler, whatever you want.
Some of your personal favorites.
It was not India. I don't think it was the United States. If you wanted to name your child, I guess I can't literally go through every single. I think it has to be a country that has a reason. Probably the country where Nutella is made, because maybe it's trademarked or something. So, what country is Nutella made in? I think, I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure it's Switzerland. So I'll say Switzerland.
It's not made in Switzerland.
Where is it made?
Well, this place is France. Is the one that does not allow it
frowned upon
to be named for many children. I believe it's
French.
It's made in like France or Italy or something. But either way, let's do your favorite rapid fire. The creation of Nutella was motivated by the shortage of something else. What was that shortage?
Well, what would you? Almonds.
No! What? No! It was a shortage of cocoa supplies.
Okay.
It's similar, you know? Okay.
Hazelnuts and cocoa.
The first jars of Nutella, the actual brand, were marketed in what year?
1879.
Wait for it. Here it comes.
The answer I was looking for was 1964.
Close.
Relatively new. They came to the US of A in like the mid 80s.
Wow.
And they really got popular in the 90s.
Okay.
So pretty new. How about this one? My favorite Nutella snack. Because I love Nutella.
This is truly useless knowledge. Do you just like Nutella just on a banana?
Not a horrible guess.
Mm-hmm.
It does have bananas in it.
Oh.
I was looking for a Nutella crepe with strawberries and bananas. I actually made some of those a couple weekends back. I'm a big crepe guy.
You should make some today to celebrate
I love
Nutella Day.
some Nutella crepes. They're my favorite.
I checked. Nutella made initially founded in Italy. So I was close.
You were close.
They border.
You were right there.
Yeah. Thought it was Switzerland. That's useless knowledge. Happy Nutella Day.
Do yourself a favor and follow The Riot on Instagram at RadioU Riot.
Many Girl Scout Girl Scout distributors have revealed that for this year's Girl Scout cookie season, which is now, basically well underway, we're talking price increases. Typically, what you would see looks like $5 a box for Girl Scout cookies. And now we're talking $6. $6 whole dollars.
Oh, come on.
For one box that probably has like 4 cookies in it.
And if you're buying one box. You're not buying one box.
Yeah.
You're buying like 3 boxes
Mm-hmm.
when you buy Girl Scout cookies. Because you can't just buy one flavor.
Yeah.
You got to buy a couple. You got to buy at least 2.
Yep.
You're doing whatever your top 2 flavors are. So now you're looking at $12 instead of 10.
Right.
Which isn't like nearly as round of a number. The 5 is nice. The 6, no, not nice.
Yeah. And you think about the bang for your buck, too. The Girl Scout cookies, it may not only be 4 in a box, but it's certainly not many that come in a box of Girl Scout cookies. And $12 if you buy like two boxes of cookies doesn't seem outrageous necessarily. But then you think that like Oreos are probably half the price and you get like 3 times as many. I don't know. I don't know how my numbers are. Check it out. But you definitely are not getting the bang for your buck that you would get buying anything in the grocery store. And so then it makes you wonder, how much do you really want to support these gals?
Check this out.
Mm-hmm.
Oreos, 36 cookies in a regular package.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
In just a standard package. How many Girl Scout cookies come? Approximately 38 cookies.
Wow.
In a Girl Scout. That's what they say. That's what they say.
So my math is all off.
You're way off.
And actually, you think about it, are Oreos actually that much cheaper than a box of Girl Scout cookies? Probably not. And which would you... Okay, now here's the question. Same price. Which would you rather have? A box of your favorite Girl Scout cookies or a bag of Oreos?
See, we've got Oreos.
Yeah.
What they're listed online.
Uh-huh.
About $4.50.
So it is
$4.49.
a bit of a savings.
You save about $1.50.
Mm-hmm.
And cookie-wise, you're getting about the same amount of cookies. Are they $1.50 better? Girl Scout cookies.
I don't know. They might... my inclination is maybe.
They feel like they are.
Yeah.
Because, like, you can get Oreos year-round.
Mm-hmm. And how often are you actually doing that?
Exactly. And whenever Girl Scout cookies come out, some people buy them right away.
But with Oreos, I don't have to talk to a child.
Oh, you don't want to support our youth?
No, I just don't like the... When, with Oreos, no one accosts me outside of a Walmart trying to sell me something, and then I don't have to either say no to a young child or talk to a young child that I've never met before.
Isn't it way worse turning a child down outside of Kroger? Like, I was walking into a grocery store recently, and there was like a cheer team out there. They were trying to raise money to go to like some event.
Uh-huh.
And the worst is the little girls, they have no shame. They'll just ask you,
Yeah.
would you like to donate?
Yeah.
And I said no. Because at the time, I don't need to try to explain myself.
Yeah, no.
But
you
it
don't have
felt
to
like
donate every time somebody
asks you. I
asks you.
had to because the little girls, like, they were so nice.
Yeah.
But then when I'm going through the McDonald's drive-thru and they're like, would you like to do the Ronald McDonald's house? I'm like, no. I have no issue turning an adult away if they ask me to do anything. I say no. If it's a little girl, I'm like, I feel bad.
Yeah.
So then I walk into Kroger and I'm like, should I have donated? When every time I get asked for a tip at Graders, I'm like, no.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. You're justified. You don't have to explain. It is tougher when it's a child.
When they're selling Girl Scout cookies, I'll buy them though.
Yeah. That's your way of supporting.
But the cheer team, I couldn't do it.
The only thing Isaiah loves more than the riot is himself.
Someone who probably still lives with his mother and hates himself.
You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
Last night was the Grammys. A lot of headlines coming out of the Grammys. First of all, of course, Taylor Swift. She announced a new album. She also won the Album of the Year Grammy. She now has more Album of the Year Grammys, get this, than anybody ever.
That's pretty incredible.
That's actually unbelievable. 4 times she's won Album of the Year. Previously, she was tied with actually some pretty wild names, like Paul Simon was one of the choices. Yeah, so she now has 4 Album of the Year Grammys, but that wasn't the only reason she was in the headlines. Also, she made an appearance, of course, in Trevor Noah's monologue.
I think it is so unfair how NFL fans have been complaining about the cameras cutting to Taylor Swift, right? Like she's controlling the cameras at the games, right? Like just let her live, let her live. In fact, tonight, on Taylor's behalf, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna give her a break. Every time they mention Taylor Swift, I'm gonna get revenge. Every time someone says Taylor Swift, I'm gonna cut the cameras to someone who played football. That's what I'll do. Cut, bam, just like that. Oh yeah, you like that, Terry Crews? You like that, Terry Crews? You better fix your face, Terry. Yeah, we're watching you all night, Terry. No relaxing for you. Do you work for the CIA, Terry? Huh? Huh? I can read lips, Terry. You better watch what you say.
So many people laughing. You know who's not laughing? Joe Coy. He's got to be so upset today.
Yeah, he's down bad.
Yeah.
But after his performance, warranted.
Yeah, it wasn't good, but was that all that much better?
Was that funny?
Because
That wasn't funny.
No,
No.
I sorry, it's not me. It's
But
not
I
for
don't
me.
think Trevor. I don't think Trevor Noah's funny.
Yeah, he's not my favorite either. And even that, I understand if people like it, they like it. But was the gap between what he just did,
His joke,
and Joe Coy? Because if you look at the headlines, it's like Trevor Noah kills and actually has a positive Taylor Swift joke. Unlike Joe Coy is basically how it's being
all
presented.
Joe Coy needed to do was open with a positive Taylor Swift thing,
Yeah.
and everyone would be like, "Killed it, crushed." Can't believe he did it under such, short time to get ready, but still killed it. But instead, he went negative Taylor Swift.
Yep.
Bad idea.
Could have totally changed his fortunes.
So Trevor Noah, he learned.
Also, why is Terry Crews at the Grammys? I
have no idea.
Is he like married to somebody who's like a singer or something? I don't know. So that was confusing to me. Some of the other highlights or the headlines from the Grammys. Killer Mike won 3 Grammys, 3 different rap Grammys, and then afterwards got arrested for a misdemeanor.
Killer Mike?
Yeah, Killer Mike.
I don't even know who that is.
He cleaned up. But with a name like Killer Mike, you're just asking. You're asking to be arrested, I feel. And let's see. Celine Dion, Canadian, made a surprise appearance. And it was really a shock because I don't know if you know this, she's kind of been a little less out of the public eye lately because she has something called stiff person syndrome, which may actually be worse than it sounds. And it sounds pretty horrible just based off of the name, but it literally causes spasms, but also makes you stiff at the same time, which feel like two things that don't really add up, but that's what it does to you. Neurological disease. And she was there. So that was a nice surprise. People seeing her face again after she hasn't done a whole heck of a lot, understandably.
The Grammys seemed meh to me. The Taylor Swift album announcement, obviously that's
big.
That's what everybody's talking about.
Yeah.
But other than that, didn't do a lot for me.
Something tells me it's going to be a big year for old Taylor Swift.
You think so?
Yeah.
I got a pretty good feeling too.
I'm getting an inclination.
Her album comes out in April, so
if
you thought this stuff was ending with the Super Bowl, it is not.
We're not sure who behaves worse, the Riot or their dogs.
I don't even know how to behave like a real human being.
The Riot, RadioU.
A shot across the bow for nose pickers everywhere. You might want to stop doing that because according to researchers at Western Sydney University, they believe, based off of their findings, that nose picking may be partially responsible for Alzheimer's disease. If you're a nose picker, you're more likely to be afflicted with Alzheimer's later in life. That's frightening. This is frightening to me.
Because you pick your nose.
I do.
Yeah.
I got to stop. I have to stop now because one of my top fears, and I think I don't think fear is healthy. I don't think it's healthy to be afraid of something that's 40 years probably down the line at least. But at the same time, I think most of us don't take into account enough the way our brains are going to work in our older age. And it scares me what it would be like to have Alzheimer's or some other kind of like similar neurological disease. It's why I didn't become a football player because I was afraid. It's why I didn't join the NFL because I didn't want the risks that come along with that. And so now I have no choice but to stop picking my nose as well because this is enough to get me to stop.
Is picking your nose gross?
Clearly not to me. It's one of those things, though. It's one of those things. If I saw somebody doing it, I would be taken aback. But if anybody says that they did it in private, I wouldn't judge them too much. Now I won't judge you. I'll just say, listen, I don't want you to get Alzheimer's. Please don't pick your nose, is what I would say.
What about picking your nose in public? Gross?
That is weird. That is for some reason where I draw the line.
What about picking your ear?
What do you mean picking?
Like just there's like wax in your ear, putting your finger in your ear. Is that gross?
The only reason it's gross is because if you do like get some residue on there, then what are you doing with it after that?
You know what you're doing with it. You're flicking it.
You can't.
Same thing you're doing with the booger.
Oh, that's not how. That's not how my wax works.
Flick. Or a scrape. A scrape flick.
A scrape.
Scrape
Some
flick.
See, I imagine like, I mean, if I have a napkin handy, I'll give the old.
A good wipe.
Yeah, but then why not just stick the napkin straight in your ear? Or if not, then it's like a wipe along the pants. But this is why I don't do this. This is why I don't. Because my earwax is much waxier. It's not solid. I don't get little. Yeah, I can't. There's no flicking. Flicking's not going to work.
See, I would say for picking your nose, gross.
Mm-hmm.
But it shouldn't be as gross as it's made out to be. Because everybody's had a time. I'm not a nose picker at all.
Yeah.
But everybody's had a time when like you have to. You have no choice.
That's right.
Like you're blowing your nose and it's just not working. Like you've all had to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, because blowing, I mean, we don't need to get into all of it, but yeah, there's definitely situations where even the most adamant anti-nose pickers, you've got to just dig around in there. You've got to free up some space.
Max says it's not how you pick your nose, it's where you put the boogers. I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're eating the boogers, that's obvious. It's obviously disgusting.
Yeah.
If you flick the booger, that's messed up. It should go in the trash or into a napkin.
Yeah.
Zach says, thanks, now my nose and ears itch. If you're sitting in a cubicle right now, if you can discreetly get your ear, not that weird, not bad. If you're going at the nose, you got to be by yourself.
Yeah, in private. But now I'm telling you, Kleenex. And by the way, the reason they say it is because your fingers introduce viral, bacterial, and fungal pathogens that they believe are partially to blame.
So I probably should stop sucking my thumb, too.
Might be smart.
Disinformation, mispronunciations, bad impressions. That's Hudson. This is The Riot on Radio U.
Officially Super Bowl week. And I don't know about you, but I'm getting pretty excited. My first question is, what is actually the best part of the Super Bowl? Is it the game? Is it the commercials? Is it the halftime show? Is it the food? What is the actual best part of the Super Bowl, Isaiah?
For me, probably the lead up to the game.
Really? The pregame?
Yeah, the pregame.
You love the anthem? You're real patriotic, are you?
I'm not talking about the game, brother. I'm talking about going to my friend's house. Maybe I'm hosting.
Okay.
And like you're eating the food, you're hanging out.
Yeah.
Everybody's like talking about what they think is going to happen, catching up. It's the most exciting time.
Oh, so you get started real early.
Yeah, like before the game. I'm not going to show up at kickoff and be like, let's see what's happening. I'm not going to show up in the middle of the first quarter. I'm going to show up much before the game starts when everybody's chatting too. Conversations are the best before the game.
Yeah.
Because the game isn't going on, so you're not worried about what's happening.
True.
And then even if you're not a football fan, more than likely someone in the room's a football fan.
Yep.
And so the conversation with them is not going to be as good during the game as it would be before the game. During the game, you're talking about what's happening during the game.
Yeah.
Before the game, you can talk about anything.
That's interesting. I don't think traditionally I've ever, when it comes to Super Bowl get-togethers, gotten there much before, like you say, what does the game start at 6:30 Eastern usually?
You want to be there by 5, easy.
Oh, see, I'm thinking like 6. I'm
so
thinking
you're
you don't
there
want to
for
miss
the game.
You don't want to miss kickoff, but the game goes on so long anyways. You're spending a lot of FaceTime with whoever you're hanging out with. And so I don't want to overstay the welcome and get there too early. And when I host, that's what I typically expect. I think the best part of the Super Bowl to me, I'm going off the script here, even though I do have a survey here. I'll tell you what the survey says in a second. I think the best part is actually like the gambling, the fantasy aspects. Like if you do the bingo cards or, like there's always, everywhere I've gone, we'll do some kind of pool or something like that. I think it's because I'm so competitive. that even when your team is not involved in the game, it still gets you invested in some way, picking a fantasy lineup for just the game or something like that. So I enjoy that aspect of it, but I'll tell you, this is a bit of a shock to me that according to a new survey conducted by one poll, 55% of people say the best part of the Super Bowl, the halftime show. You buy that?
I don't know about all that jazz.
The halftime show is so hit or miss. Sometimes you get a real good one. I feel like we've been fortunate. Actually, I don't even remember. Who was the halftime show last year? Do you remember?
Rihanna.
Pretty
She was
good.
good.
Pretty good. Pretty solid. We've had a good run because prior to that was the LA Super Bowl where you had like 50 Cent hanging upside down, looking thick, Dr. Dre, Eminem. That was a good show. But we've had a good run. Prior years, though, maybe not as good. It's not always such a home run. Obviously, the food at the Super Bowl is good. That came in third place behind commercials. Now that's a joke. The commercials are not the second best thing of the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but if you asked any random person on the street,
Yeah.
and if you're asking random people, they're not all going to be football fans.
Mm-hmm.
So you say Super Bowl, what do you think of? They would say halftime show, commercials, food.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be like, oh, the third quarter when things start getting good.
Yeah. No, it's fine. It's fine. I understand if people don't like the game as much, but the commercials are not. You want to talk about something that's fallen off in over the years.
It has fallen off a bit.
Commercials. First of all, they used to be surprising. Now, if you want to see most of the Super Bowl commercials before the Super Bowl, you can. Secondly, just not as good. Just not as good.
But I didn't want to take that away because the commercials and the halftime show are what makes it so great because it gets all the non-football fans to watch.
Yeah.
And so I didn't want to take that away from them. It would be like if the people who only like the halftime show and the commercials were like, the games recently haven't been as good for the football fans.
Yeah.
And so I didn't want to take that away from them saying that the halftime shows or the commercials aren't quite as hot as they once were.
There's never been a can of worms they didn't open. The Riot, Radio U.
What is the last thing that shocked you, that surprised you with how good it was? It could be anything. Restaurant, movie, TV show, vacation destination. I don't know. The last thing where you had some expectations and it beat your expectations by a mile.
Oh, we're talking good stuff.
Yeah. Because I'm trying to think positive here. Because I'm sure if I flipped the question, if it was, what's the last thing that just shocked you with how bad it was? Everybody would have something probably in the last week that upset them because it was bad. Let's have a good attitude here. Let's think about the last time that something was way better than you expected. 8772 Radio U.
I've got a good one.
You do?
I don't know if this is good enough for anyone but me. But
Are you ready to answer?
I have one answer.
Yeah. Go
One
for
of
it.
the answers
Go
that
for
I
it.
have.
Lead us off. Lead us off.
Which this is sad, but I'm always surprised whenever I make some food and it's actually like rave review. Like
Yeah.
it's good.
Uh-huh.
It's that good. And I recently made a food that was so good that I shocked myself when I ate it. That it was that good.
And what was it?
It was a Hawaiian roll.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know the Hawaiian rolls?
Yeah.
A Hawaiian roll stuffed pizza.
You mean like a Hawaiian roll?
Like a Hawaiian roll.
Okay.
The roll of Hawaiian.
Yeah.
A stuffed pizza. Little garlic butter on top. It was so good that I shocked myself when I ate it. Me and my girlfriend, we were eating it.
Yeah.
We made the whole thing. I was like, this will probably be okay. Put it in the oven. I saw it on TikTok.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
What was the toppings?
Pepperoni and cheese.
Pepperoni on a Hawaiian roll.
So
Interesting.
So you take the Hawaiian roll and you kind of cut it, but not all the way through.
Yeah.
Across the top, you put a bunch of slices in. And you kind of just stuff it in there, and then you put a little garlic butter on top. Oh my gosh!
Whoa.
Put it in the oven. Life changing.
Almost sounds like a little makeshift stromboli.
It is
or
pretty
a
much.
little makeshift pizza sub.
I made it last weekend. It was so good that I bought more Hawaiian rolls yesterday because I'm going to make it again.
I've been tempted by Hawaiian rolls lately.
Oh, I think I'm going to make it for the Super Bowls too.
Because it sounds like a great Super Bowl snack.
It's going to be my new thing
Yeah.
because it was so good. It's the only thing I've ever made that surprised myself. It was so good.
All right. So listen to this positivity. Listen to this. So chipper now, just thinking about this food that I didn't even eat, but Isaiah's so excited about. 8772 Radio U. What's the last thing that shocked you with how good it was? 8772 Radio U. We'll see what people are saying next.
Add a little riot to your Instagram feed. Follow @RadioU Official. The Riot. Radio U.
Talking about the last thing that pleasantly surprised you or shocked you with how good it was. 8772 Radio U to chime in. It can be anything. Isaiah said Hawaiian pizza rolls that he made. Shocked himself with how good of a cook he is. D says her and her husband are pastors. Yesterday, got a thank you card from one of the people there. That's nice. The thank you card had $1,000 in it.
Now that's shocking.
Money is always a pleasant surprise. I'll tell you that. That is, well, congratulations, D. Isaiah, listen to this one from Caleb. Caleb says, inspired by your choice champions, our segment on the show every Thursday, it's a tradition. They did a Christmas-themed choice champions at a Christmas party he was in charge of. And they had couples go head-to-head, and then I guess everybody else kind of voted. He said it went surprisingly well. Caleb, you're welcome.
That's shocking.
He says it really got the energy going. Choice champions. That is, you're welcome. What else can I say? Jeff said, I made some killer potato soup last night. Good for you.
Shocking.
Good for you. Congratulations. I'm trying to think of what mine would be. I switched banks a while ago. I'm shocked with how good my new bank is. SoFi, I'll say it. I like it. It's a good bank for now.
Until they get on your bad side.
Yeah. Then they better watch out.
Susanna says the Eras Tour movie, didn't care about Taylor Swift before I saw it, but surprisingly good.
I feel like there's got to be some restaurants that I've eaten at recently that have actually shocked me with how good they are. You know what? Burger King. Last week, Burger King breakfast, their hash browns, shockingly good.
Shocking.
Yeah. I was not expecting that.
You know I love some good BK. And
Yeah.
I'm big behind their hash browns, especially their breakfast.
Yeah, that was real good. I was thinking I had, as of late and probably the last month, I've had breakfast from Burger King, McDonald's, and Wendy's. And you stack up the potatoes, and this is no knock on McDonald's, but I think their hash brown is actually the least of the three. I think I would take Burger King's hash brown things first, then Wendy's seasoned
then
potatoes, then McDonald's hash browns,
Wow.
which are still incredibly good. But that's how good the Burger King hash browns were.
Another one for me.
Uh-huh.
This past Saturday night, I was supposed to go out and bouncing around with some friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
Little night out on the town.
Yeah.
There was only 4 of us.
Okay.
One of them bailed right as soon as we were about to leave.
Uh-huh.
So then we were down to 3, and I was like, I don't know how tonight's going to go. The one person's kind of a key piece to the group. It might not be as fun. Saturday night, great night.
Oh, you had a good time.
Shockingly
Love
good.
that. Love that. Good answer from Tim. Restaurant, Maple Street Biscuit Company. That's where we went for my birthday.
That place is good.
That place was good.
That place is real good.
Good answer, Tim. He also says pineapple cake.
Pineapple
You
cake.
just had a pineapple cake. Shockingly good.
Shocking.
And TJ says Deep Rock Galactic video game.
Dwarves mining in space, fighting monsters.
Wow.
That's shocking.
That is shocking.
You know,
that
I'm
would
not
be
even
good.
surprised that's
Yeah.
good. That sounds good.
I'll have to look into that. All right. How about that? That's some positivity. I feel so much happier now.
Shocking.
Thinking about all these things that put a smile on everyone's face when they weren't expecting it.
Hudson is the maple syrup, and Isaiah is the power protein flapjack. This is The Riot on Radio U.
There's a TikTok that's been going around, taking off a little bit. There's no dialogue. It's simply a guy on a first date, supposedly, And he says, the caption is, on a first date, and this girl gets a tub full of ranch. And it is, tub is a strong word, but it's a lot of ranch. It's unclear whether he's seeing this as a negative or a positive. It kind of feels like people interpreted it as he was not impressed. Isaiah, is that too much ranch on a first date?
There's no such thing
Exactly.
as too much ranch
Yeah.
on a first date.
It's a hefty portion of ranch. It's more than, but I would consider that a positive at this restaurant. This is more, I'm more impressed with this restaurant than it says anything about the gal involved. That this restaurant gave her that big thing of ranch instead of a little thimble of it, which they normally do, and you have to ask for more.
And the thing about those, the little cups of it,
Yeah.
the bad thing about those, because she's eating it looks like a chicken tender, some sort of chicken,
Yeah.
breaded chicken here. The thing
Prime dipping for ranch.
the thing about those little things they put them in,
Yeah.
it's never like a good dip. You can never fit whatever no matter what piece of chicken you have, it's always too big for the container
Yes.
that they give you, so you have to kind of squeeze it in there.
Uh-huh.
Where this is a big cup, so you can just dip it right in. You're gonna get a good dip. That's one of my most hated things is when I've got these big chicken wings.
Yeah.
I've got this little cup, and I'm trying to squeeze the chicken wing in there. And so for this, respect to this restaurant.
Yeah. The restaurant gets a thumbs up. The gal gets a thumbs up, and the comments say as much, that if this guy is not impressed for some reason because she ordered a giant thing of ranch on a first date, she's got plenty of suitors just lined up.
The wild thing here is she has two of those little ones, little thimbles, called them.
Yeah.
And she has the big tub, and she's already finished one of the little ones. So this is her third time asking for ranch.
You imagine the conversation that first she's like, "Can I get some ranch?" Which does show that she has a little shame, which is fine in this instance. But the waiter came over and was like, "Do you need anything?" "Yeah, ranch." And she finishes that. The waiter comes back. "Yeah, more ranch, please." Maybe she even flagged him down. More ranch. And then finally, the third time, she's like, "Let's just get real here. These are not enough ranch. You're just going to have to keep walking over unless you get me the big tub." And so kudos to the restaurant. They obliged. All of this makes me ask a question, though, Isaiah. And maybe people can chime in on this at 8772 RadioU. Is there any food that somebody could order on a first date that's a red flag?
That's a good question.
Yeah, because I think the answer has to be yes.
For sure, some yeses there.
There's definitely some yes first date red flag foods.
But chicken tenders and ranch is not one of them.
Definitely not.
That's one of the safest picks.
8772 RadioU, first date red flag foods. They order this, and immediately you have to question if it's going to work out. Let me know.
You don't always have to agree with Isaiah to always disagree with Hudson. The Riot. Radio U.
A first date food red flag. You're on a first date and they order this. That's an instant red flag for you. The reason we bring it up is because there's a TikTok going viral of a guy on a first date with a gal who has a tub of ranch. We agree. That's not a red flag. That's a green flag. But what are some first date food red flags? Texts are coming in. Bailey says Rocky Mountain oysters. Yeah, you know what that is?
What's a Rocky Mountain oyster?
You might want to look it up. I believe it is a bull's nether regions. But you can confirm that if you want. D says she hopes she never has to date again, but if the date orders shrimp or shellfish simply because she's allergic.
Well, that would be inconsiderate.
That's inconsiderate, yeah. And that is, I guess, a conversation you need to have before any food is ordered, it sounds like. Tim says the most expensive thing on the menu. Is that a red flag to you?
Yeah.
What if it just means she has real good taste? If you take her to Texas Roadhouse, she gets the most expensive steak.
You know what that tells me?
What does it tell you?
Low awareness.
Maybe she's ready to split the bill, though.
Low awareness.
That could be a good sign. It could be potentially
I hope so.
a good sign. I was thinking for me, I was thinking if they order anything that's like super vegan, it's not any judgment from me.
Oh, super vegan, huh?
I don't have anything anti-vegan. I just know
Sounds like you do.
That's a lifestyle that I can't live, try as I may. It wouldn't work for me. And so if
Your
that
lady
was,
can't be vegan?
I think that'd be very difficult. I just think I feel like we'd have a hard time being compatible with our diets is all that it is. It's nothing about
Fair.
their personality. But the other one, think about this. Do you think ordering a hot dog on a first date would be a red flag?
I lean no.
No?
A hot dog is fine.
A brat?
Ooh, a brat's even better.
A brat.
A brat would be a green flag. That means you got good taste.
Yeah. But I don't know. I can't imagine myself if I was going on a first date. It's not the other person. Or like if a gal ordered a brat on a first date, yeah, you're right. Probably green flag for me. But I imagine me ordering a brat to her, to most women, that would feel like low situational awareness. It'd be a weird thing to get on a date.
Easy thing to eat, though. Easy thing to eat on a date.
Yeah, it depends on how much. It's chili dog. It worked for Jack and Diane, right? I don't know. I feel like that I would never order that on a first date.
You know what mine is?
What's yours?
And I think this is the correct answer.
Uh-huh.
Pop.
That's you know what? That red flag, though, that's strong. That's strong.
I'm just saying, if you order a pop, that's wild. Blasphemy. What are you doing ordering pop at a restaurant? That's wild.
Yeah. I wouldn't do it.
That's low situational awareness, I think, yet again. But some people, like some girls, she may be a pop drinker. Like she might drink Dr. Pepper all the time. And so if you're a pop drinker, then that would be like, hey, like what Philip says here, he says no because there's no foods that you could order that wouldn't be showing who you really are. Is pretty much what he said. So you have to get used to it. So if you're gonna order a Dr. Pepper every time we go out, then I might as well get used to it. But I think it's wild to order a pop.
I mean, I sure wouldn't do it. What's crazy too, you think about this, is my wife, she didn't order a pop on our first date. I remember she got a smoothie. And
but you got a smoothie.
Nobody drinks more. Well, we weren't at
okay, got it.
Yeah, it was more casual, but nobody drinks more soda than my wife. And even she on the first date did not get Coke. So
high situational awareness she has.
That's right. She knew.
It's a good sign for you. Also, a little bit of a catfish there.
Find more Riot content online. Riot.radiou.com.